What's up everybody, Sunkissed here, and in today's video, we're going to be covering the best weapon in Fallout 76 that you're probably not using. This weapon is very capable of one-shotting most enemies in the game, and it even does pretty good damage against the Inno 6 Guardian. Huge shout off right off the bat to Wiggle Plays over on YouTube. He made a video about this weapon a few months ago, and I've been using it ever since, and since we have some new players joining the game, might as well showcase it and remind people that this thing still exists. I'd like to know down in the comments what you think of the second season of the Fallout TV show and how it stacks up against season 1. No comments or no spoilers, please, in the comment section. Just would like to know your general thoughts. Like, comment, subscribe, and hype the video if you're over on mobile. It's the best way to help spread this video to a further audience. Again, thanks for watching. Catch you at the end. 22, sure, we'll go with that. See what we can get here. 14k, not bad. 19k, wow. Taking a look at our weapon here today, we have the Ultracite Laser Sniper, or also known as the Ultracite Laser Rifle or gun, whatever it may be. But we have the legendary effects Furious, Explosive, Reload Speed, and Polished. And I'm running the Prime Capacitor, Aligned Sniper Barrel, Aligned Stock, Long Scope, and Gyro Compensating Lens. There is a beam splitter option for this, and you'll do more damage, but I don't think the trade-offs are worth it. The fire rate gets cut down to 6. The magazine size gets cut down to 3. You lose a ton of VATS accuracy as well. So in my opinion, not worth it. If you're looking for just pure single-shot damage output, you could go that route, but I personally like running it this way. If you don't have the ability to get that right now, I would run the calibrated capacitor in its place, which that'll give you extra critical damage. It'll be relatively close in performance to the prime capacitor, so just run that in case you don't have it. Alright, in order to get the weapon for today's video, which is the Ultracite Laser Gun / Sniper, we're going to get over to the White Springs, fast travel to the mall, and from the fast travel point, we're just going to run down this hallway here, and once we get to the Brotherhood of Steel vendor, that's who's going to have it for sale. Just make sure that you're over level 30, and they'll have it in their inventory. Obviously, you want to craft it once you're at level 50, so you don't have to recraft it. But I do have pretty high charisma, so the price you'll see is probably cheaper than what you'll have to pay, unless you're running a bloodied build, or you can make a build specifically for bartering, which is definitely possible. But here it is. For me, it's 2600. You probably could get around this. Just make sure you're running hard bargain and you have your charisma as high as possible. Additionally, all of the modifications that I'll be using on today's video, all you have to do is scrap Ultracite laser guns to learn the mods. So once you buy this plan, craft a bunch, scrap them, and you'll have the mods you need. As far as our armor goes, we're running a full set of unyielding, +2 agility, through hikers, and limit breaking armor. This will allow us to do a critical hit every other shot. This is kind of just my everyday armor, and it's what I run for most builds. If you're going to be doing this full health, I would say you probably could run Overeaters, AP regen, and through hikers. And I would also still use limit breaking. Limit breaking is just the best 4th star for damage output, in my opinion at least. And I am running civil engineer armor. I believe this will be the best armor after the March update comes out. And also just has a really nice set bonus of that 35% break slower for your weapons. For mutations, we are running Adrenal Reaction, Bird Bones, Eagle Eyes for extra critical damage. That's probably one of the more important ones. Egghead for extra intelligence. That's also important because the science card is buffed by your intelligence level, and that'll essentially help do more damage. Healing Factor, Herbivore, Herd Mentality, Marsupial, and Speed Demon. Herbivore definitely is going to be what you want for max damage output, since you can use Blight Soup, which is one of the buffs that I run, and that will buff your critical damage by 125% when you're on a team. I don't have anybody on my team since I'm in a private server right now, but it's up to 125%. Taking a look at our perk cards really quick here and our special points. Sorry, one second. Special points here is 6 strength, 10 perception, 10 endurance, 1 charisma, 11 intelligence, 10 agility, 8 luck. And start with the legendary card here. I have 5 special cards all maxed out, and then taking one for the team. If I'm going to be fighting the ENO6 Guardian with this build, which I don't really do, but if you want to, you could remove one of these special cards and slot in follow through for extra damage after the shield breaks. I'll demonstrate that in a little clip a little bit later, but for this build, normally I just rock it like this. Now looking at our actual perk cards, over in strength, this is mostly quality of life slash carry weight related perk cards. Easy target, might trigger sometimes. I also share this build kind of as my general Rifleman Commando build, so it's more useful on other builds. But over in perception for damage, we have Number Cruncher, Downranger, Tank Killer, Smart Shot, Center Masochist, and Awareness. There's a lot of good perk cards you could run in perception if you don't plan on manually aiming with this weapon at all. You don't need to run Smart Shot, and instead you could run something like Ground Pounder to reload faster. In Endurance, since this is a bloodied build, we have a bunch of tankiness related cards. So we have Life Giver, Ironclad, Thirst Quencher, Vaccinated. Vaccinated's for extra AP. It's not really needed on this build. Fireproof for essentially explosive and fire resistance. Star Chain to keep our mutations. Nocturnal Fortitude and Solar Power ensure that we're gaining extra health from those 2 cards at any point in the day, and Radical is for carry weight. Only Perk and Charisma Strange Numbers to buff our mutations. Over in Intelligence for damage, we have Nerd Rage, Demolition Expert, and Science. And Batteries Included and Good Assault are just quality of life slash carry weight perks. The most important thing in agility is that you have a few of the onslaught perk cards, so the Gorilla, Gunslinger, those sort of cards, but you're going to want to make sure you're running Gunslinger Master. This is going to enable reverse onslaught, and you'll notice at the bottom right of my screen, I get up to 30 stacks of onslaught, so once you shoot one, it'll dip down to 29, but over time they recover. This is more or less the best way to run slow firing single shot weapons or stealth builds. I also have evasive in here, just because it definitely helps with your bloodied build. If you are going to run this bloodied. And Born Survivor. And then Gunfu is just a nice quality of life perk. Over in luck, it's pretty standard. It's mostly spec'd for VATS criticals, so better criticals. Class Freak and Critical Savvy. Junk Shield is a really nice to have. And Serendipity and Ricochet make a big difference if you are running it bloodied. 4-Leaf Clover is also really nice because you can miss and still fill your crit meter. Now, if you're going to run this as a ghoul, you're definitely going to want to be able to slot in faulty spots and glowing criticals. And you can make room for that by removing some of these tanky related perk cards in Endurance, since you won't really need that. And if you're going to run this as a full health human, obviously you don't need to run Nerd Rage or any of these survivability slash tanky related cards. So you could maybe get rid of one of the legendary special cards and then just permanently be running follow through. Either way, this build can work with any character style. All right, we're going to fight some super mutants with the Ultracite Laser Sniper here. The only 2 damage buffing things that I have on right now is Psycho buff. You could also run Psycho as a good option. That's pretty easy to get your hands on. And also running Blight Soup, which gives us extra critical damage. And technically, Brain Fungus Soup buffs our intelligence. So via science, that's helped buffing our damage a little bit, but not too much. So let's see how we do. And see if we can get a sneak attack to start here. It's like 2,800 damage. See if I can get a crit. 5,500 on that. 6,400. Still in caution right now, surprisingly. This is not a silent weapon to my knowledge, so you do have to stay pretty far away to stay in stealth if you're going to try and use this as a stealth build, which I don't normally. And we're discovered now, so we can probably just go loud here. But as you can see, it has like no problem just one-shotting all these super mutants. And it's doing some pretty darn good damage numbers. You can manually aim this thing as well. The splash damage does more than enough damage to take out targets as well. We're going to give this a try against the ENO6 Guardian. Don't imagine this is going to be the best ENS6 weapon, but I am just curious what sort of damage numbers I can get. Here's the armor I'm running. It's a full set of Troubleshooter's Vulcan armor with +2 luck to increase my chances of triggering Ricochet, and the other thing that's important is having Reflective as the 4th star. Couple notes, I did remove a few perks in Endurance so that I could slot in follow through. I normally don't use follow through for the Ultracite Sniper. It's more of a stealth style card, but you can activate stealth after you break the Guardian's shield pretty easily, so let's go ahead and give that a try. I'll start this. I'll just fast forward through breaking the shield to not bore you here. All right, so we'll let our onslaught stacks stack up a little bit again here, and I'm gonna bloody myself as much as I can without like actually dying here. See what sort of damage numbers we can get. Again, we're just gonna wait until we absolutely can't shoot any longer. So let's see, 22. Sure, we'll go with that. See what we can get here. 14K, not bad. 19K. Wow. I mean, it's taking good chunks out. We're over at the Grindstone Arch, and we are going to fight some super mutants and a super mutant behemoth just to see how the sniper does. So I can sneak for the first one here and see what it hits for. 3,600 damage, not too bad. What about a crit? Oh, I have to build up my crit fill here. Overall, it's hitting pretty good so far. I'm gonna save my crit. 8,800 damage on that crit. So we have a little bit of adrenaline. We have we have a critical hit saved up here. And I think we took a psycho buff. Just make sure I took one here. See if I can get a sneak attack on this super mutant behemoth with a crit. 5,600. Not too bad. Took it down in 3 shots, almost 2. All right, let's fight some Mirelurks and Mirelurk Queen and see how we do against that. This guy's over here shooting his... What does he have? Where did he go? Who's in there still? Not for long, though. As you can see, I mean, this thing just one-shots all regular mobs, like no issues at all. Retake our psycho buff here. I think we'll probably have to see if we can... Okay, level 60 super Mirelurk Queen. See if we can get a stealth hit on her. 5,800. And we 2-tapped it. I know it's not level 100, but 2-tapping a Mirelurk Queen is pretty decent, so I'll take it. Thank you so much for making it to this point in the video. I really appreciate it. Can only assume that you've enjoyed the video if you've made it this far. So hit the like button, subscribe, comment, hype the video if you're on mobile, as that's the best way to help this video in the YouTube algorithm. And if you'd like to see my previous video on a bloodied build for beginners, click the video on screen now. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.